My name is Akwamu Oluwatokunime.
My name is Ufewa Debrashimilore.
My name is Adekidemida Adokoyemi.
My name is Adebisi Anoluwapo Hepzibah.
My name is Ajibade Ademikefe.
My name is Adesla Samuel Oluwapelulu.
My name is Okosaifa Benedict.
My name is Clarita Ofikurede.
My name is Oburio Gechi Happiness.
My name is Ononia Rizolora.
My name is Oluwasi Oluwase Dokas.
I am the group leader of Group 21 FBA 264 Business Communication. I will be presenting on employment communication.
Employment. What is employment? Employment can be defined as a situation whereby people who are willing, able, and ready to work actually get jobs at an existing wage rate. Communication. Everyone communicates, but it just depends on the unique ways and manners by which we use to communicate. Now, what is communication? Communication can be defined as a continuous process by which messages, ideas are actually sent from the sender to the receiver through the right medium at the right time, and also making sure that a feedback is gotten.
Therefore, employment communication can be defined as the sharing of information between the management of an organization and the employer. There are different channels of sharing information, such as the social media, like what we're doing now. YouTube is also part of it, Instagram, TikTok, and WhatsApp.
I'll be discussing the part of CV, resume, and the process of writing it. A resume is a French word which means summary. A resume is a brief summary of personal and professional experience, skill, as well as educational summary. We have three formats of a resume. The first one is chronological resume. A chronological resume is a resume that contains work experience. The second one is functional resume. A functional resume is a resume that contains skills and strengths. While the third one, which is the last one, is combination resume. It is the one that combines both functional and chronological resume. Now we're going into the key element of a resume. The first one is personal information. It should contain your name, your home address, your email address, as well as your phone number. The second one is objective. In one short sentence, you should summarize the goal for your search job, which could include seeking position of a marketing position. Now the third one is education. Where did you school, the location, as well as the courses that you did. The fourth one is work and related experience. Have you worked in an intern company? Have you worked as a volunteer? You could also include it there. The last one is reference. You should include reference, which could come from a teacher, a professor, a supervisor, a clerk.
A CV, which in full means curriculum vitae, in Latin means course of life, can be defined as a detailed professional document containing one's experiences, achievements, and accomplishments. Without a CV, an interview cannot take place. So for an interview to take place, a proper CV should be submitted. So we have the components of a CV. First one is contact information. This should contain personal details about the person in search of a job. The second, education history. This should contain your education history, things you actually did while in school, the name of your school and all of that. The third one should contain your professional experiences. Probably you furthered more in school and you achieved and you got a PhD degree holder or a master degree. So the fourth one, qualifications and skills. This should contain things you've actually achieved while on a job previously. Then the fifth one, we have the presentation. We have the presentation and publication. The sixth one, we have honors and award. The seventh, we have license and certification.
How to write a proper CV? These are the steps to write a proper CV. The first step to write a proper CV is to pick the right format. And picking the right format makes it look much more professional. Then the second step is to add your contact and your information, or your personal information. The second one is to start with the personal profile and title. The first one is to list all relevant work experiences. The fifth one is to build your academic and education section. The sixth one is to list all relevant skills. List all relevant skills pertaining to the job description. The seventh one is to include all pertinent information in an additional section. The eighth one is to organize your CV in a template, in a professional CV template.
Describing the 3S of a cover letter, which are the structure, steps, and styles of writing a cover letter. A cover letter. A cover letter, also known as an application letter, is a personalized letter from you to the person overseeing the hiring process of the job you're applying for. There's a general misconception about a cover letter and a resume. While a resume provides a clear point-by-point map of your career thus far, a cover letter tells only the personal side of your career. Ideally, a cover letter and a resume complement each other, with each document answering any questions your recruiter have from your work experience and skills after reading the other. My partner will be talking about the structure and the steps involved in a cover letter.
Talking about the steps and the structure of a cover letter. The steps of a cover letter are actually three. We have the introduction, the sales pitch, and the conclusion. Now I'll be taking it one by one so we can all understand what each represents. The introduction aspect talks about who you are and what you want, what you are writing for, which job you are actually writing for, and every single thing. So if the introduction aspect is a very, very key factor to the cover letter, if the introduction aspect is taken out of the cover letter, then there is nothing that will make sense about the cover letter anymore. So the sales pitch is talking about the requirements needed, the skills and every single thing needed. So it's the marriage between the aspirant and the employer. So the sales pitch is just trying to let you know the skills that the employer requires from you, and if you actually have those skills that is required. Now we have the conclusion aspect. The conclusion aspect is talking about how you close up your cover letter. The conclusion aspect also is a key factor. Your sales pitch can sell a lot, but if your conclusion aspect is not there, then the entire cover letter is meaningless. So the conclusion aspect will only give you a little value to it to add up with every single thing you have said. Now let's go on to the structure of the cover letter. The structure of the cover letter is we have different structures of the cover letter. We have the contact information, we have the introduction, we have the conclusion, we have the signature. Now the diagram below shows how a cover letter actually looks like. So in any time where you want to write a cover letter, looking at this diagram should be a very, very great help to you. Thank you.
Techniques for submitting job applications. Now, thoroughly read up on job description. So one is expected to understand what the company expects from a job applicant in the organization for what job interests you, and not expected to ignore the descriptions that fit into the requirements. The second one is maintain one candidate profile. So under this technique, most organizations use the ATS format in the sense that they save your personal information. Now, if you take more than one candidate profile, it will cause confusion for the organization in mixing up your information, and it leads to a lot of issues. Identify the keyword and tailor your resume. So you have to find the keyword in the job description and take your time to look at your resume and make sure you tailor them. And when you're addressing your accomplishments, make sure they go in line to the requirements of what you filled in your resume.
Techniques for following up job application. Firstly, professional. Professional in the sense that after having the interview with the recruiter and all, you shouldn't be carefree and shouldn't be too personal with the recruiter. You should keep your boundaries and all. Second, you should always follow up on the email, so that apart from the general email being given out to follow up on, you should always look for staff's email, top official email of the organization you're trying to recruit yourself in to follow up on also. The third one, you should always ask questions that will always narrow back to when you'll be able to get more information about the interview and employment matter.
Enumerating the abilities for success before, during, and after an interview. Before an interview, research the industry's company. An interviewer may ask how you perceive the company in the industry or the competitors, the competitive advantage they have over them, and how to move forward. Clarify your selling points and the reason why you want the job. Before going to an interview, you have to clarify your selling points, up to like 3 to 5 points before going to an interview for you to be the best candidate for that job. Anticipate the interviewer's concern and reservation. Prepare for common interview questions. Line up your questions before going to an interview so that the interviewers may know that you are very serious for the job. Practice, practice, practice. Always practice before going to an interview for you to be able to do well in that interview. Dress well before going for the job. The way you dress is the way you are addressed.
The basic tips for success during an interview include: 1. Always listen carefully. Tell the truth. Don't lie your employer, investee, or friend. Watch your grammar. Wait for the employer to mention salary and other benefits. Don't expect a job offer after the first interview. And close on a positive and enthusiastic note. The basic tips for success after an interview include: 1. Conduct a self-evaluation on the interview. Write down notes on your performance, questions you've answered, and questions that were difficult for you to answer. Write a thank you note. Keep in touch. Answer phone calls and emails. Write down notes on what you could have done better during the interview, and don't give up.